this one here. If you guys are coming up on the panel, I ask that you respect everyone that's talking, show some patience, don't try to step on people, and pass out some important information. We are good, thank you for asking. All right, let's see who this is. Hello, Pearly. Beth. Right. Now, make sure your YouTube channels are muted. That's mostly for Beth.
What?
That's mostly for Beth.
What is?
Make sure your YouTube is muted.
Oh, I'm on my phone. My YouTube's not up.
Okay.
We're good.
Without giving too much detail away about how people know some things, I'm going to say that I did have a meeting with FEMA again today, probably the last one prior to deployment orders. And I did fill in a couple of people who may or may not come up on panel at some point. One is already here about what's going on, how things are going to roll out. And kind of, I really actually want to give you guys honest information. It is not information given to you to scare you. It's information given to you because I feel as an American and as a citizen, it is your right to know where your government sits in relation to this virus and what actions and plans they have in motion and what the actual reports are that they may or may not be giving you. I will say, much respect to Cuomo and a couple of other governors that have been given rather honest reviews and information about where their states stand and what they need in relation to support. That being said, as most of you know, I do work for FEMA as a reservist agent manager in charge of command centers that get deployed to various states when catastrophes hit in relation to storms. What I want you guys to understand first and foremost is if everybody remembers Katrina, feel free to put 1 in the chat if you remember Katrina.
Oh yeah.
And what that looked like.
It's a disaster, mess, FUBAR.
So I want to let you know that COVID-19 is 100 times worse. And it's going to be 100 times worse. We have 40,000 reserve FEMA agents that are all being deployed at once, simultaneously, all 40,000 of us. And we're still going to be short. So if you are interested in working as a reservist with our agency, you can drop me a DM on Twitter and I will send you the email application process to become a reserve. Activated various levels. All of your experiences, especially as military and or operations control, come into usefulness for events like this. That being said, I'm going to explain to you guys a couple of things. Texas is going to be getting, I believe, 3 portable containment centers, which are basically portable hospitals for people who are tested negative and for people who have tested positive, but with very minor symptoms in relation to COVID-19. The effort is to maximize the spaces within the hospitals that have a full operational staff, focus on people that have severe side effects or are potentially, let's just not muster it, potentially could die from the COVID-19, and their focus needs to be within a wall system with full medical personnel that can keep them alive. The portable containment centers or hospitals are going to be staffed with mostly reserve CLS, combat lifesaver, military personnel. I want you to understand your reservists that are being activated are all medically trained in some form or fashion. Okay. It may not be the exact specialty needed for COVID-19, but it is some form of medical training that will be used in the portable and temporary hospital settings. Okay. This is to maximize, like I said, the main hospitals and those staff that are medically trained for this, essentially save more lives this way. Somebody just come in? Who's in here?
I'm here, but I have to mute because we're out here banging on wood
Okay, all right.
and stuff.
So that is Texas. It's going to be in the Austin and Dallas area. Those people that live in Texas already know certain areas that are being shut down, and you most likely were given incorrect totals. I want to tell you that within the last 24 hours, Texas received 4,500 more confirmed COVID cases. Not sure why the governor didn't release that information, but you need to know the truth. And the truth is there are 4,500 more cases. And believe it or not, as much as I'd like to say Texas is the hardest hit, it's probably fourth in line. Right now, you got Louisiana, California, and New York that have some of the highest cases with fatalities, followed by Washington, Tennessee, and Florida. Okay, and those are just for reported cases. Here's the other thing you need to understand. Tests are short and far and few between, very hard to come by. And as states are starting to get tests, you're going to see those numbers climb exponentially. Here's why. We are at the very base of the curve. What that means is we are probably where China was 3 months ago today. So you're going to see an increase in cases. Is that a reason to be scared? Yes. Is that a reason to panic? No. And here's why. The people that are most susceptible to losing the battle against COVID are going to be people with compromised immune systems or compromised organs or missing organs. You know, somebody donated.
I just got news from North England.
What's that?
NHS Coronavirus Service. We have identified that you're someone, oh, this is what my friend got. We've identified that you're someone at risk of severe illness if you catch coronavirus. Please remain at home for a minimum of 12 weeks. Home is the safest place for you, staying and helps you stay well, and that will help the NHS too. You can open a window, but do not leave your residence.
There
So
you
they're
are.
essentially putting everyone in lockdown. She's allowed 1 hour of fresh air a day with family members that reside with her only, and other than that, they are to stay indoors.
Exactly. And that's basically going to be my recommendation for you guys that are listening. The other thing is this. You need non-perishable items, okay? Don't be buying frozen meats and all that crap, because you're not going to need that stuff. You need stuff that's quick, easy, and can be moved on the go. Call in the military, and I sent her a link, so I don't know if she's coming, but Mandy, Makeup by Mandy, she's also married to a veteran. We have something called Get Out in go bag or get the fuck out and go bag. Basically, it should have a supply of vitamins, minerals, prescriptions that you need, sanitizers if you can get them. If you can't get
Are you mad?
sanitizer, you can get rubbing alcohol and peroxide. There's plenty of that around. And if you
Soap
can
and
find,
water.
and if you can find aloe, you can make your own hand sanitizer. What were you saying, Beth?
Soap and water. Get soap. I mean, you can the antibacterial hand sanitizers with the alcohol, they don't kill everything and they don't get the dirt off. People need to get a good thing of soap. Get a couple bottles of soap.
Also, you need things that you can wipe other things down with. So wipes,
Clorox wipes.
rubbing alcohol on paper towel, wipe down surfaces if you're going to come into contact with things. Okay.
There's a handy trick, Angelo. I just wanted to mention real quick. If you buy Clorox wipes or anything like that, you can cut down a paper towel roll, take the tube out, stick it in there, pull one up, and then you can pour rubbing alcohol or a bleach mixture in that. And there you go. You got wipes in a can.
Mm-hmm. A couple of other things. So our deployment areas are going to be, like I said, it's going to be Texas, it's going to be Louisiana, it's going to be New York City, it's going to be California, it's going to be Washington State, Tennessee, Florida, and like there's only 40,000 of us. Okay.
How are they going to do all this?
And that is not nearly enough to cover all of the United States. That's enough to cover how many locations would you say at one time, Angelo?
It may be enough to cover Texas and New York.
Oh, those are the hot spots right now.
Well, Louisiana is too. They just had a huge increase of cases.
Louisiana's numbers are going up faster than Italy's did.
Shannon, you didn't get the link in the Shannon in our group thing where I send the link to?
That wasn't the same group.
Okay, I don't know where she is.
Send it to her privately.
Yeah, okay, I forgot about that. All right, sorry about that, Shannon. I didn't mean to exclude you. There we go. All right. So that being said,
hey Angie, I know you're listening.
it's
I love you, Dulce. Stay safe.
It's difficult because, like I said, and I know Pearl. I gave Pearl the information. I think we're looking at putting at 9 in Louisiana, 4 focused in New Orleans. Those are run by people like me, and staffed with about 100 people each one. But they said that they're going to be tripling down on that because the hospitals are already overworked and overstaffed. So we're going to try to rotate anybody with any form of medical experience into positions with waivers from the government in order to give those doctors and nurses breaks they need.
I would love to help, but obviously I can't. I'm immunocompromised. What can I do while I'm quarantined here? Tell me what you need.
That's an actual important question. What can you do if you're quarantined and you have compromised systems? The biggest thing is we call it the plus symbol. Okay, so look at your home where you live. Look in front of you, behind you, to your left and to your right. Are those people that you can help? Do you have something that can help them? And if you can, you put it in a bag, sanitize the bag, bring it over to their house, leave it at their door, ring the doorbell, and leave.
Okay.
Right.
That's to help your neighbors, because really what it's going to come down to Americans helping one another. We have to put aside differences and stupid petty arguments in order to facilitate our agencies to do what they need to do. And in order to do that, we need people helping one another.
Okay.
The more people that come together, the more people that help one another, it makes our jobs easier to get into these areas where people aren't going to be frolicked and panicked, thinking that the government's here to either commit martial law or whatever. I also wanted to talk about that for a moment because there's a lot of misconceptions about that going around. 200 years ago, it might have been easy to do martial law. 100 years ago, it might have been easy to do martial law. 50 years ago, it might have been easy to do martial law. Today, not so easy.
Hold on, sorry.
You're talking about having American soldiers facilitate an aggressive stance against fellow Americans. That will not happen in today's time. What we will do is protect the assets that need to be protected, such as hospitals, at times grocery stores, and the portable hospitals, to prevent them from being overrun by panicked citizens that want to try to come in and get supplies. Supplies right now are the biggest demand because you do need protective gear when working around or with people with COVID-19, or you will become a contaminant, a victim. And we don't want to make more victims. We want to try to subdue this as quickly and as effectively as possible. To do that, it requires Americans to listen to their agencies. And when I say agencies, I mean your local agencies. Things that you see on CNN or Meet the Press, or when the president goes live and does a speech with half-assed information, that shit don't work. You need to be mindful of your own abilities and the ability to research things, look into things before you react to them, before you comment on them. There are videos and photos being posted of soldiers moving tanks into Maryland. Look at the uniforms. The uniforms are 12 years old. Those aren't even the uniforms that soldiers use today. Look at the uniforms, and that will give you an idea of when that video actually came out.
Yeah, I noticed that
And that's
too.
another thing that I've seen a lot of. People need to really check any information you're passing along. Yes, we all need to share information. Absolutely. That's the thing. Verify it first. I've always said that was like missing children, because a lot of people will automatically, if they see like a missing child thing on Facebook, they'll automatically send it out. And I'll go back and check, and I'll be like, they were found 3 years ago. Because you taking up that space is preventing another child's picture who's actually missing from being put out there.
Yeah.
You
And
putting
now,
out
I'm glad
information
you're
about
here, Pearl.
COVID-19 that is not true is scary. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I'm
saying?
glad-
It's not helpful.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here, Pearl, because you can verify that the information I'm giving is 100% fact. From
Right.
the FEMA headquarters themselves. He said 4 times that all 40 of us, all 40,000 of us, were going to be activated. We are
Yes.
going to be activated. He said it 4 times. Actually, he ended it with the 5th one. 5 times. We
And
had
then,
to have bags
okay,
ready.
so
Yeah, I heard that too.
you
Go ahead,
got to understand that the reason why Angelo even pulled me in was because I am terrified. I'll be honest, I'm completely terrified. Like everything going on in New Orleans, it scares me. I know a lot of immunocompromised people in the area, and I don't want to see anything happen to them. And chances are we're not making it out of this without somebody I know dying.
And again, I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying this to be honest with people. You must be prepared to see between 3 and 10% of the population may lose their lives to this. 3 to 10% of the United States population, 387 million people, can lose their lives to this. So the more mindful we are and the more honest we are with people, the better chance we have of saving these people's lives. And that means we do have to work together on this. I don't care if you're quadriplegic. There's something that everybody can do. If it's as simple as calling somebody and comfort them, I guarantee you that's a hell of a lot better than trying to beat somebody down at a Walmart for a roll of toilet.
True.
Because all you're doing is potentially spreading a contaminant there from somebody else. You may not have it, but the 4th person that entered that store might. Because these people, some of these citizens are panicking to the point where they think the end of the world is coming. And in time, this country will overcome and recover from this. That's the other thing I want to talk about, timelines, okay? You guys are being told by most of your governors, this is a 10, 14, 16-day quarantine, okay? I hate to break it to you guys, but I'm telling you right now, you're looking at 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, this isn't going to be over in
That
4
doesn't
weeks.
surprise me.
I'm
And
being
it's only
honest with you.
it's only now that testing is becoming more widely available that the numbers are going to skyrocket.
Yeah, your numbers are gonna
Yep.
skyrocket. Now, here's the good news. 90% of people that come down with COVID will recover with very little symptoms. It'll be like a common cold to them and they'll recover. Old people and very young people can get this. Black, white, yellow, red can get.
I'm seeing videos of, people in their 20s and 30s.
It is a
That were
lot less
healthy.
discriminatory than they first thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why your states are trying to lock your states down is because they don't want to have to use soldiers to tell grown adults how to behave. And we shouldn't have to.
No.
This
No, we should all know.
might be like the flu, but this is killing people in the tens of thousands.
It's like a bubonic plague or something. I mean, it's those numbers. Look at all over the world.
Exactly.
You know what?
Around the world.
Madeline couldn't get home, and we both cried about it, cried on the phone. But you know what? She's laying on a beach with nobody there because all the tourists have left. She's probably safer than any of us. So I'm like, stay.
So
When
that
it
being
comes down
said,
to it, be
Go ahead,
smart,
Phil.
be socially responsible. Don't be an idiot.
exactly. Now here's a couple of things I want to tell you guys. Handkerchiefs are made out of cotton. 90% of them. 100% cotton.
A lot of men's undershirts are made out of cotton. They can also be used to make diapers.
Diapers and masks.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to
And
go out of your house, put one on.
you don't need toilet paper. For God's sakes, what do you think people used before? Just put a trash can in your bathroom. Use it. Use, anything from old books to, newspapers. You can cut up old T-shirts.
You can even wet
Old T-shirts
newspaper
are the
to use them to
best.
clean yourself, folks.
Why, yeah. Cut up a T-shirt, wipe your butt with it, throw it in the thing, and then go wash it, and then you're recycling them. We'll be all right.
Now, again, vintage gal, don't freak out because you have connections with people who will give you honest information. I'm definitely
Right.
one of them. I will tell you the truth. I will
And
tell
just
you
be
that
smart.
Texas is a firestorm right now. Louisiana is a firestorm right now. New York City is a firestorm right now. California is a firestorm right now. Washington is a firestorm right now. I have friends with compromised immune systems. Uber. I don't want Uber leaving her home at all because there should be agencies in place to take care of her, and they don't have the manpower for it. So,
And if there's not agencies in place to take care of her, there needs to be people who are willing to get her the things that she needs. That's why we're
Exactly.
saying look left, look right.
this
Guys,
is where
take
look
care of
left
your
and look
own.
right. Yep, take care of each other. And across great distances, it may be harder, but a phone call, keeping people updated on what's going on. When I deploy out, when I know where I'm going, the first people that will know is my wife, and the next people that will know are pirate ship people. I need them to know where I am.
Right.
They're going to want to know where I am, and from there I will be able to give more information based on
Whatever.
from the ground, basically.
Just be safe. Please
Yes.
be
Biggest
very,
thing
very
is
safe.
cover
Yeah.
when all else fails and you don't know, assume that there's
Yeah.
something wrong. and cover your.
Hey,
Yeah.
Eric. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry. I am like, my attention is completely divided. I'm trying really hard to keep my kids entertained, which I know many of you are also doing. I actually have them out working in the yard, taking nails out of boards from a fence post so we can build a garden.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so
Keep it
that being
busy.
said, if anybody has questions, type your question in the chat. If anybody on the panel has a question, feel free to ask, and I will do the best with what information I have. And if Pearl, if I forgot anything, let me know, because I remember you were there.
I ain't leaving the house. All of my doctor's offices are closed. All of my appointments have been they're like, call back, we'll reschedule. We don't want you in here. And the hospitals are turning everybody away unless you've got a fever of over 103 here. And so yeah, my happy ass is staying at home. I'm doing crafts, I'm cooking, keeping myself busy.
Susan, I actually have
trouble.
good news for you too. For us. We, the CDC, FEMA, and no other medical professionals have stated that any women pregnant that have given birth during the outbreak have experienced any complications. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that women's immune systems,
They're
while
keeping
they're
them separate
pregnant,
too.
women, while they're pregnant, their immune systems are tripled, and the baby is born with a tripled immune system for about the first 6 months of their lives before they start to develop their own immune system.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be some comfort in knowing that I believe that you'll be fine.
Especially
and that
vaginal
proper precautions
birth.
will be taken.
If you can give birth
Angelo, I would
vaginally,
like to introduce you to my friend in the
Yep.
chat. Her name is Angie. She's the one that sent me the NHS information.
Hey Angie, how you doing?
I think she's under Angie Beanfuls.
Yeah, I see her. She's safe to mod. I can mod her.
Yeah, make her a mod.
hello, Andy.
All right. So if there are any other questions in the chat, let me know and I will do my best to answer it. If you guys want to know what's in a FEMA deployment bag, I'll tell you right now. It's 6 pairs of khakis, 6 pairs of socks, 6 pairs of underwear, survival kits, bathroom kits, a bag, sleeping bag, a bed, portable bed, some biodegradable foods that you can eat on the go that provide you with energy and your carbs you need for operating on a 12-hour shift. Put a whole bunch in there too. First aid kits, protective gear, and rain gear and cold weather gear because you don't know where you're going. Diggy, how are you doing, girl? Hope you're staying safe. All right, so also I can send food.
All right, Cassie, take a 15-minute break, babe. Take a 15-minute break. Sorry.
Yes, of course, Ziggy. I will leave this up. I'm giving information on my last basic the last briefing that we took from.
I just want to say thank you, Angelo. You're giving out important information. You're clarifying things for people, and people really need to hear this. And everybody in the stream, please share it. Share it to the other platforms because everybody, needs to watch the replay. This is important. It's nothing to laugh off or joke about. 2 weeks ago, we were going, it's no big deal. Remember that?
Yeah, a lot of people were thinking it was no big deal. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to speak about it until the final meeting.
Right.
And that was today. And I invited a few people whose states come into question as far as deployments into the meeting so that they could hear firsthand knowledgeable information that's not being subjugated to political risks, because that's really what people need to hear. You're going to hear the Democrats, the Republicans, and the independents going after each other about what needs to be done and where. Look, none of that shit matters. What matters is saving lives and making sure that our citizens are safe. And in order to do that, we have to be honest with them or they're going to panic worse than they already are.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I mean, it's not the greatest news. It's not, hey, we're going to be able to handle all of this, because they're not. But it is comforting to know that somebody somewhere has a plan to help in the worst hit areas. You know what I'm saying?
And we do have plans. We do have plans. We are sending people to every
Mhm.
state that's a hot spot right now. Now, another question people might ask is, what is a hot spot? No, they won't.
Aren't they considering it over 1,000 cases at this point?
Over 1,000
they-
cases, confirmed cases with a 10% death ratio. So if you have 1,000 cases and 300 or 100 or more dead, that's considered a hotspot. That's going to get one of those or PHS systems, which is the portable hospitals, along with probably 100 to 200.
And I think they're also looking at the
Yes, exactly.
multiplier. So how fast is it multiplying?
How fast? Yeah. Another thing is how fast it's multiplying. And as testing code goes up, like I said earlier, as testing goes up, you're going to see more cases because again, we're still at the very beginning of our curve. We have not hit the peak curve yet. That's important to understand, and we have not hit that because we have not had the tests to confirm
Right.
or deny somebody having it.
That's why they said West Virginia didn't have any cases for so long. We didn't have a single test in the state.
You had no testing kits until last week.
You're right. And then when they tested, now we're up to how many? I mean,
Uber, honey, I hope you're staying safe. If you need anything, you better damn well contact me because I will ship anything out I need to you. I do not
As
want
long
you
as the
leaving
post
your house.
office is still open, you know,
From what I
this community is
understand,
gonna
they're
look out for people.
they're considered needed. I do see curfews being implemented on a nationwide basis. How the states implement that, Cindy, is up to the states at this. I know there's a curfew.
Within 5 days, we were at almost 1,000.
Did they issued a curfew in Louisiana already? Didn't they? 10 p.m.
Not yet. No, what they've done is issued a mandatory stay-at-home order.
For
They
non-essentials.
have shut down all businesses except for essentials, and they have rewritten what essentials are.
Okay, and I do believe that the post office or FedEx or UPS are considered essential. I do believe that they're still making delivery.
yeah, I got a
Right, they
UPS
are still making
email.
deliveries, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten from FedEx and UPS and DHL that they are still delivering, but they will not be shaking your hand at the door. There will be no signing for anything.
Yeah.
They will talk to you through your door, and you just say yes, and they're putting the X on there and going.
And
So
if you
they're being safe.
if you're getting cardboard boxes or packages in the mail, yes, you need to sanitize them before you open. Sanitize what's inside, sanitize the outside.
Pretty much, if it came from somewhere outside of your home and you're bringing it into your home, sanitize it in one way or another, please.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's one thing UPS is doing. They're sanitizing everything.
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm going to sanitize too, but
Yes, UPS's factories have a device that the packages go through. And you can find portable ones or personal ones on Amazon. I think Tammy Ravenwolf did not a YouTube, but a Twitter post on it. It's a special light that penetrates and kills off viruses and diseases, mold and everything else. You can actually wave it around and sanitize your box. They're $30 or $40.
Right, if all else fails, this thing is killed by sunlight. You can stick your stuff out in the sun somewhere safe where it is not going, you know, as long as it's not heat sensitive.
it dies on
Down here, heat
surfaces after
sensitive
how many
or
days?
light sensitive.
It takes 24 hours for surfaces.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
stick it somewhere for 24 hours and don't touch it.
Excellent, Uber. Uber, I'm concerned about you because I already know that your health is compromised. It bothers me a lot. I'm hoping that I get to an area where one of my friends is so that I can make sure that they're taken care of because I am going to take care of my friends.
Prayers for you too.
Not sorry. Friends from YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I'll get in contact with the other people that go to the other areas where my other YouTube friends are and make sure that you guys get connected so that you can get what you need. I'm not kidding you guys. The call was about an hour and a half long. It is going to get worse before it gets better, but we will make it through if we work together. Everybody can do something here. It doesn't matter how invalid you
Be
are.
smart.
Everybody can do something here. And that's the important thing here. And I, one thing I've noticed about this YouTube community is when shit gets real and shit hits the fan, we do and will come together
Yep.
like the family that we are. And like every family, we have our bitter moments where we bicker and fight. But this is about preserving life. I don't care if I hate people or not. This is about preserving life. We can fight later when it's all done.
Now, that being said, don't let me catch you like smoking weed on a live stream and then telling me that you need money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you out.
Amen.
Yes, FEMA has a link, and I will draw if you DM me, I will send you the email link for direct employment application. Everybody and anybody that's able-bodied that can move and communicate will be considered for employment, because we're about 70,000 short for what we need to actually get to every spot simultaneously. Right now, we're going to be doing it in a rotational manner based on the highest priorities. Which brings me to my next point. The question of who gets what first. You guys know it's the worst off first, down to the least. That's the order of how things go. So that's exactly how the deployments are going to go. The worst states hit first, or hit worst, are going to be getting the most supplies and help first. And then as we contain and control the situation, what we refer to as command and control, when we step foot on that ground, we are in control. Not the hospitals, not your government. We are in control. Pearl can verify that. That was the message given to us. We are in control. It is our house. And to do that, because we have the experience in dealing with mass casualties, we have the experience dealing with mass movement of humans, of supplies, of transportation, of quarantines, of making sure that things get to where they go. That
Yes, prayers for
Okay.
healthcare providers, everybody on this front line, everybody who can't take those days off. And that even goes down to those grocery store workers who they don't get paid enough to be dealing with this. But they're out there
Yeah.
dealing with it anyway because they need to feed their families, and they know, and some of them are doing it simply because they know that their towns are depending on them.
It's about helping community. It's about binding together as community. And we all have our little groups, our neighbors and everything, but we need to be taking care of ourselves and everyone that is in need. So we need to be humble, we need to be generous, we need to think of others. I think this look on the bright side, we're going to learn a lesson from this. There's going to be a silver lining behind this cloud. Right now, I always see a cloud, and it looks horrible and terrible things are going to happen, but it will eventually cause change. Maybe we'll meet new people. Maybe we will change ourselves, our attitudes.
Just not in person. Don't meet them in person. People.
No, don't meet them in person. Meet them on the internet.
yeah.
Call up. But people that you haven't spoken to, like I've got neighbors I haven't spoken to, and because we're distanced. But you know what? I'll look up a phone number and give them a call and say, "Hi, this is Beth from down the road. Do you need anything?" So that's what I'm saying.
And some things that y'all can do to help, especially if you live in communities near cities or outside of cities. One of the things that we've done is we've reached out to the farmers and the providers for things that people who would provide for restaurants, because we're near a tourist town.
Right.
And they're not able to sell their product right now. So they are actually delivering to the community right now.
That's awesome.
We're getting fresh vegetables. We've got a line on getting fresh eggs. And hopefully we're going to be looking, crawfish, of course, y'all, because hello, it's Louisiana.
I told Daniel I needed a
Um,
chicken house.
So we're going to be actually looking into people who are out fishing, you know, the guys on the boats and stuff. That's a major economic stress on us right now, because if they can't get out there and fish and sell their products, then they go under. Then when things get better, we can't provide for the restaurants and stuff that keeps our city going. So, you know, it's really important to look for those avenues where you can get what you need without having to necessarily leave your house.
Mhm. Make
But
sauce.
people like Beth, who like, you know, who's good at talking, you can call these places
Absolutely.
and see if they would be willing to, one, offload their overstock and help out the community at the same time.
Well, I think that's one thing I'm definitely going to do. We've only got a couple butcher shops around here, and they're not great. They don't have a great variety or anything. But if they go under, then you know we're screwed, all of us. And I think I'll reach out and see what I can do. Make some phone calls. We can all make phone calls. You know,
Yeah, it's
we
not
can all
hard to check
talk to
on
people.
people.
Huh?
Not hard to check on people and make phone
No,
calls and see what we can do.
don't go
Right. We've
visit
actually
Granny in a
expanded now
nursing
to
home either.
we've
That's
expanded it
what
now to 3 communities. So
good.
they are now providing vegetables for approximately about 1,200 homes.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. That is
I
fantastic.
will say that the National Restaurants Organization, which is probably the second largest employment organization next to the federal government itself, is working on getting a bill passed for all restaurants to open and basically give free food out to people that they operational. It's going to be about $100 billion to do it, but it would keep the restaurants from going under and it would keep people employed. Very
Mhm.
useful bill, I think, if you have the ability to reach out to your politicians to support that, make sure that they support it, because we're talking about providing free food to people. Most of these people are probably workers
Well,
or
and
volunteers.
here's the thing about that. Here's a bad thing about that. I'm going to tell y'all what just came down in Louisiana today. So our school systems, what they had been doing was providing lunches for the kids while they were staying at home, especially for those in need. Like, we weren't taking advantage of it because we have to. But there are kids who depend on those lunches. That's all they get to eat. Well, today, because
Mhm.
of the new mandatory orders, oh, sorry, y'all, that's the teachers running through the neighborhood again to say, hey, to the kids who are stuck in the house. Yeah. So today, because of the new mandatory order that has to stay at home, that was a volunteer-based thing. And now nobody's allowed to volunteer. So there are going to be kids at home hungry. They are looking for other options.
Can
So
they
this is, again,
deliver
one
to
of
the
those things.
houses?
Please don't depend on the system.
God love them.
The problem is they don't want them to work because it's a group of more than 10 people.
Right. All of our
Um,
restaurants are staying open. They're just only doing carry out and drive through so
Right.
far. Thank God. I mean, I cook,
But the
but
problem is now a lot of people can't afford to go to restaurants. They can't afford that. You know what I'm saying? So this is,
well, I made 8
again,
bags of sauce.
where it comes down to, please look out for your neighbors. Please take the time. I know things are hard to come by. Nancy sent me yeast. I'm getting ready to go in tomorrow morning and I'm going to start making bread. So I'm going to do that for a few families, you know, until I run out of yeast.
And that was something simple. That was something simple. She couldn't get yeast where she was. We could get yeast. It cost us $4. That's something simple that we can do to help one another. And now she's going to take that yeast and help 9 people maybe.
I had forgotten that I have yeast in the cabinet. I may do that. I've got lots of yeast in the cabinets. I have all sorts of goodies shoved up in there.
All right. Any other questions before I go? Want to get your wife back to the bunker? Hey, Tamara, how are you, girl? I'm gonna get the wife.
And I am gonna say that I'm doing live streams and I'm looking for more stuff to do on them. I'm gonna be doing live streams that have absolutely nothing to do with drama or the coronavirus. It's just gonna be people getting together to laugh and have fun, play games. We did Cards Against Humanity last night. I know some people don't like that game because it can be very offensive, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at other options too. So
Have you tried those games from what is it called, Jack TV or something like that?
no, I haven't. I know AV used to do some of those game night things, and I couldn't remember who his were through.
I think it's jackboxtv.com or something like that.
Yeah, I think that is it.
And I think they have games like You Don't Know Jack, or they have that word game where you get like a weird word and you gotta make a sentence out of it or something.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think it's worth the money to get
Or not
people
boring
out of
content.
the headspace, because I know every time you open up YouTube, it's
Like I
constantly
said,
saying,
I will keep here's what I'll do. I'll keep Pearl, Beth, Shannon, and Pirate updated, and you guys can update other people as to when I'm deployed. And I
Absolutely.
won't give exact locations out to them, but I'll give it to you guys.
Okay.
Right.
I don't want them to know where I am, 'cause, you know, it's YouTube.
Just stay in touch.
right,
But I'll be in touch with my wife every day, making sure that we, you know, are saving lives. This is what we're about, you know. And I appreciate y'all being in the family and the circle. Keep it
We
real,
love you.
you know we love you.
have fun, and
Stay safe.
you know, just try to laugh, guys. Try to laugh.
We're trying. If you come up with any new information or anything, I'd love to put it on my channel. I'll put it directly on my channel. You know, the more people we can get it to, other than things you don't want shared.
You
Yeah.
guys are welcome to download and re-upload this video. I will not nothing copyright, so you guys can share it out. This is and like I said, Pearl can verify this is 100% accurate information from the headquarters.
Yep.
Without any politics mixed in with it. It's the truth. It's alarming, but we can overcome this. Okay.
Stay safe. Stay well, people.
Love y'all.
Everybody, love you. Love everyone around you, and you know,